Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's news, BMW is recalling the Supra once again, and we will go in depth on why the Highlander is getting such a big price increase for the 2020 model year. Then at the very end, we'll talk about a fifth grader who wants to be the president of Toyota. I'll see you guys on the other side, and let's get into it. Motor One is our primary source today. First one we're going to go over is the Supra Z4 and BMW 330i recalled for failing headlights. This is not the first time BMW has recalled the Supra. If you guys remember, the first time they recalled it was due to faulty welds. So this affects 177 units of the Supra. Toyota's answer to this is BMW builds a Supra at its Magna Steyr Graz plant in Austria. Therefore, they do recall the filing with NHTSA. This only affects Supras that were manufactured from July 16th to August 20th, 19. The culprit was a printed circuit board and potentially affected headlamp control units. So once again, BMW recalling Supra. It's a little more than hilarious to me because I'm not a fan of the new Supra. Even though it's fast, it's a good performer, it is not a Toyota through and through. It is a BMW. Let's move onward. The Yaris GR, the GR Yaris, it's a lot of Yars in there. We have images of it without camouflage finally, so this thing looks pretty darn cool. Not getting it in America, but at least we can enjoy the images here. I think it looks pretty darn sharp. I do love the headlights. The grille isn't overly done. It's still huge, but I don't think it's overly done like the Avalon or the new Z71 Tahoe. But there's a few more pictures of it here. We looked at probably the most revealing ones. Still no information on exactly when it's going to come out. We should have a debut here in January of the full specs, including the powertrain. There is a 6-speed manual, which is pictured in here as well, but let's keep moving. Now, this is what a lot of you guys have been waiting for, is more information on the Highlander. We got the reveal earlier in 2019, but now we have more information on how these things are going to be put together, as well as their pricing, which is super important. New for 2020 is the entry-level L model, and it has a base price of $34,600. It costs $2,770 more than the cheapest 2019 model. So why is the price increase so substantial? Well, the base model comes well equipped and benefits things like 3-zone climate control, 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, LED headlamps, Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, automatic front braking, pedestrian detection, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, so that's full speed, radar cruise control, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, lane centering, roadside recognition, and automatic high beam headlights. That is essentially mirroring the exact same setup from Lexus. You go up another $2,400, the Highlander LE nabs a power liftgate, blind spot monitor. This, in my opinion, for Lexus and Toyota models, I feel like the blind spot monitor should be the next thing included in the Toyota Safety Sense or Lexus Safety System Plus, whatever you want to call it. Blind spot monitor should be standard. You get fog lamps, leather trimmed steering wheel, and shifter. What's nice about these fog lamps is that even with the 2020 RX that just got refreshed, they kicked out the fog lamps. The only way you can get fog lamps is if you get the triple beam LED headlights, which are essentially only available on a luxury trim or a F Sport model. So it's nice that you can still get fog lamps on some of the lower tiers of the Highlander. Stepping up to the $39,600 XLE, they think it's the best bang for the buck because you get heated and power operated seats, you get leather seating, or I should say synthetic leather. This gauge cluster, so you get an upgraded gauge cluster when you go for the XLE, so that will be a really nice thing for current Highlander owners to get a nice upgraded screen behind the steering wheel. Second row bucket seats, which again, that might not be a selling factor for some of these people who are looking at the XLE. They might have to go down to the LE to get the bench seat, and a sunroof, which sunroof is so funny because 99% of people never use the sunroof. Most of those people are like, oh, you know, I gotta have it. Now when you step up to the limited, we're getting up there in price now. 18-inch wheels go in favor for the 20-inch wheels, cargo cover, which is funny because it's just interesting because I know so much more about how the Lexus RX is equipped. Learning about the Highlander is very helpful, and it's funny that these Highlanders you can only get a cargo cover, or tonneau cover is what we call it, when you splurge for the higher models like the Limited or the Platinum we'll talk about in a second. In the RX, it's standard. And I just talked about how the fog lights you can get on lower end models of the Highlander, but you can't get in the lower end models of the RX. Memory seats, ventilated front seats, leather seating. And this is something that's also very interesting, leather seating. You can't get leather anymore on the RX unless you splurge for the luxury package. So you can get it here in the Highlander for a little bit less money. Of course, it gives you the navigation system, which no one really needs anymore. Why? Because Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You do have premium audio system, hands-free liftgate. Now the top of the line Platinum gets the 12.3 inch touchscreen infotainment system. This is taken straight from the RX. So essentially you're getting the same technology from the RX here in the Highlander. Is the interior going to be quite as nice? Maybe not, but still good bang for your buck for the top level Highlander. These adaptive headlights, some of you might be thinking they are auto high beams. Well, that is standard on this vehicle. So the adaptive headlights actually mean what we call AFS in the Lexus world, or adaptive front lighting system, that it will turn with the steering wheel when you're driving. So the lights can see ahead of you a little bit better, especially on turns. A head-up display, so I can't comment on the quality of this heads-up display. This is an option, of course, in the RX. Heated rear seats. Now, this is something that is very hard to find in an RX. You have to essentially live in certain regions where Lexus will build them with heated rear seats as an option. But essentially, it comes standard with this Platinum trim, which is really nice to see. And it's something that Lexus needs to do a little bit better of because their Toyota counterparts, even the Avalon and things like that, do better with heated rear seats. Rain sensing wipers, that's good to see, but again, rain sensing wipers are standard on the RX. Surround view camera system, while not standard, it's actually very common on the RX. I keep bringing up the RX because some of you might be cross-shopping these two vehicles, and I just know a lot more about the Lexus. So speaking of Lexus, again, they have the same motor, the 295 horsepower V6 with the 8-speed automatic. No surprise there. All-wheel drive is a $1,600 option on the L, the LE, and the XLE. And they charge a little bit more on the Limited and Platinum trims because they give you like a multi-terrain selection. So you get a more sophisticated all-wheel drive system on those higher trims. Now, the big story for the Highlander here is the ridiculous fuel economy it can get in the hybrid option. How are they able to get this such improved over the previous model? Well, they're getting rid of the 3.5 liter V6, which makes sense because that 3.5 liter V6, I feel like it's almost too good for the Highlander. Not in its just V6 form, but I should say in the hybrid form that we see as well in the RX 450h. So they're getting rid of the V6. So they're like, if you want the V6, just get the V6. If you want fuel economy, well, let's give you better fuel economy. So they're going to give you a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Horsepower is 243 horsepower, down about 60 horsepower than last year's V6, right? So the drawback is horsepower, but you get huge boost in fuel economy. They're saying 36 miles per gallon now on the hybrid. Unfortunately, it is not standard all-wheel drive on the hybrid anymore like it was last year. Now you have to pay a little bit more for that all-wheel drive hybrid. And the hybrid is only available on the LE, the XLE, Limited, and Platinum trims. Well, they could have just said the hybrid Highlander or the Hi-Hi, whatever you want to call it, is not available on the L trim, the base model. And just a reminder, the 2020 Highlander goes on sale before the end of the year, with the hybrid reaching dealers this coming February. Then over at the Toyota newsroom, meet the 5th grader who wants to run Toyota. This 5th grader, Nicholas Joseph, he thinks that Toyota should have flying cars in the future when he's president, and he says he wants to make all the cars faster. There's a little video with him doing an interview. It is really funny. It's cute. Is he going to be the next president of Toyota or Lexus? No, because they like Japanese people to be presidents. But you can be CEOs like Jim Lentz, who just is retiring soon. I had an article on that. And that's who this gentleman is here. Jim Lentz says he just needs to work hard and be honest if he wants to be president. Well, you know, he needs to be Japanese too, I think. Good luck, Mr. Nicholas. You know, here's the crazy thing is, why are they even showing this? I don't understand. I don't 100% understand why they are showcasing this on their newsroom. Could it be to generate more excitement among the youth? I don't know if they had some sort of outreach to young children or things like that, maybe some scholarship program. But here's the thing, is young kids are far more interested in Tesla than they are in Toyota. And why is that? Well, essentially Tesla's just a gadget. Kids like cars too, but if you can have high-end technology in your vehicle like a Tesla, kids are obsessed. We have kids come, I've seen it more than once, where kids come to the Lexus dealership asking if we have a Tesla there so they can take a picture for their show and tell. I'm not kidding you. Kids are far more obsessed with Teslas than they are with Toyotas. So I don't know if this is just them trying to save some face with the youth. No kids are going to go over to this Toyota newsroom. So it's just an interesting article. I don't understand why they're doing it. Maybe it's just a feel-good story. So the 2020 Highlander, although getting a little bit of a price increase, it does include so much more safety features and technology that the previous model did not have. So I still think it's arguably the best value in the segment. Of course, its reliability is going to be second to none. The hybrid ditching the V6, a good thing. And I think it's a good thing because the people who typically want the hybrid, they're not looking for a performance hybrid, they're looking for better fuel economy. So let's say we don't know the fuel economy on the standard V6, but let's say it's 24 miles a gallon. Well, if you have the choice between 24 miles a gallon or 36 miles a gallon, disparity will make people choose the hybrid a lot more often, even compared to that V6 model. So I would expect the Highlander hybrid to be selling a huge portion of the total Highlander sales, even though it's down on horsepower compared to the outgoing V6 hybrid. But I'll see you guys in the comments below and in the next video. Patreon supporters, thank you. And if you guys want to support the channel, head over to my Patreon page. I would really appreciate it. Catch you guys later. Peace out.